That's what
It does.
Yeah, you can't have it as a page, but like you can't write with your finger. I think the tips are like the tips are replaceable. It's like it doesn't blow. Someone told me. I just got it for Christmas.
Hey gang, we're gonna get started in a quick second. We're just setting up a new Zoom link. So just give us like a couple minutes and then we'll be ready to go. But yeah.
I think it's like get it like in the group, and then so you start writing like it's different. But that was me. I heard. I did that. It isn't like it's like an iPad where you like auto makes your hair look nice. No, that's like something about like you can do different pens. Like having I don't know. Apparently there's like certain strokes you gotta do that I don't know. I just write like
don't eavesdrop past David. Something done.
I'm good. I'm just glad I know I was like
I did.
Movie on Netflix. I'm really excited.
All right, friends. Now we are officially starting at 4:02. Welcome back, everybody. Oh my gosh, it is so good to be back in this room. I missed y'all. We're gonna jump right in with everybody's favorite part of every meeting, which is the roll call. All right, going straight down our list, Senator Sharaf.
Here.
Amazing. Senator Woldakaida.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Wings.
Present.
Thank you. Senator Dumenchi.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Victor Wynn. Senator Victor Wynn. No. Senator Bryan.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Roberts.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Wenzel.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Ibarra.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Narala.
Here.
Amazing. Thank you. Senator Berhanu. Senator Berhanu. Do not see them on Zoom either. All right. Senator Mendez Martinez.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Zigweed.
Here.
Thank you very much. Senator Mesta.
Here.
Beautiful. Senator Mueller.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Parikh.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Tamim. Senator Tamim. Present. Senator Blanchard.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Goff.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Roiger.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Andrew.
Here.
Beautiful, thank you. Speaker Novak, oh my gosh, she's here. President Zelmer.
Here.
Thank you. Vice President Abraham.
Here.
Beautiful, thank you. All right, that covers our roll call. One quick little amendment to the agenda, just up front. I want to say, so we were originally going to have a senator report from Senator Nirala, accompanied by a faculty member, if that is the correct way to phrase it. However, due to time constrictions, we thought that it would be best to move that up to a presentation. We have not yet reached the approval of the consent agenda because the presentation would be before that. So instead, I'm going to ask if there's any dissent to moving the senator report for Senator Nirala to a presentation by Senator Nirala at this time. Is there any dissent? Any dissent? Any dissent? Assuming unanimous consent, we're going to move that up. And we're going to go ahead and start off then with a presentation by Senator Nirala.
Senator Nirala, do you want me to?
Senator Nirala?
Do you want me to share it? Is it the same presentation you gave to the? Oh, yeah, I can share it on my screen if you want. Should I move? Yep.
Good to be back, friends. Because I'm just a cheery, happy person. Life is good, Stephen.
Okay. If you pull up Zoom, I just shared my screen on Zoom.
It's not a student government meeting without technology issues. Woo-hoo.
While they're getting started, I can just start speaking. The presentation is just something that we presented to the computer science department conference that we had. A little insight. Remember when I talked about a grand project idea back a couple months ago? So we're taking one step closer to getting something done about that project. I, along with President Zelmer and Senator Parekh, went to a computer science conference, and we made a pitch about the project to develop an application of wayfinding across campus. And that pitch was a success. We now have a student team. I just got an email from the student team minutes ago that they've named themselves the Wayfinding Wizards, which is kind of amazing and fun. I'd also like to introduce you all to Dr. Christopher Hollingsworth, who is a math faculty, if you want to come up here, and who's also going to be a faculty sponsor for our project.
Hi, everyone. So I'm new faculty in the Department of Math and Statistics. And just to give you a little bit of my background, I actually come out of industry, so I spent 6 years as a computer programmer, so I've been on the flip side of these kinds of projects many times as the developer, so it's going to be really fun to work with Roshit as the client side and see how that experience goes from there and get to add a little bit of that to the mentoring of the project. Anything else?
Thank you.
Great. Thanks for having me.
A little insight on what we're trying to do. Minnesota State University student government is coming into the computer science department as a client. I and Dr. H will be representing student government from our end, and we'll be working closely together with the computer science team. There's a 4 student and 1 faculty team from their end who are going to be working with us together on developing a mobile application to make it easy to wayfind across campus. The entire deliverable idea is circled around a minimal viable product that can be achieved by the end of this semester, where we're planning to project Trafton Science Center and try to make it easy to get from one room to other in Trafton. We're trying to make this as a pilot project and test it out, see if that project is a success, and then try to expand it across campus, and think that it's going to be a success considering how every one of us probably gets lost somewhere around Trafton or across campus. The presentation.
I'm sharing it on Zoom, so I don't know if we can do that.
And so, yeah. This was the presentation that we presented at the computer science conference last Friday. Something that me and Senator Parekh worked on that was delivered together by me, Senator Parekh, and President Selmer. Speaker Novak and Vice President Ibrahim were also there cheering us up and being there as emotional support. So the entire deliverable idea is circled around 3D modeling and a deliverable application, a minimal viable product that's, we're thinking it would be circling around Trafton Center, and that's what we're going to be working closely together with the team. And, yep.
Anything else?
This is what I wanted to share with you today. At this point, I'd like to open for questions.
Amazing.
Comments.
Do we have any questions? Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I did just want to make comments about how creative of a solution you came up with. We're also really thankful to the student team who decided to take up our project. There was a chance that they wouldn't choose this proposal, but they did. So I'm excited that they took a chance on a student team. This is the first time student government has gone to is this like a class for them technically?
It is, but we're coming in as clients.
Yeah, so for a class to promote or to work on a student project that'll be able to be used by students in the future. Long term, it'd be great if we could make this full campus, but that is long term, but it's a great place to start with Trafton. Any tour guide always makes a joke about how you get lost in Trafton, so it's nice this is around.
Any other questions or comments?
Question?
Did you have one, Senator Dimension?
I just coughed.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
As a closing remark, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Dr. Edge for being on board with the project, and also to Dr. Lynn.
Sorry.
Dr. Lynn Chase, if you're watching this, a huge shout out to you and the entire computer science department for taking on this project. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We don't have audio on Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah,
No, they can't
hear
hear.
us.
If I muted.
Would we like to take a brief recess in order to set up audio on Zoom? Yeah, motion on the floor?
Motion to recess until the issue on Zoom is resolved, or 3 minutes.
Or 3 minutes. Okay. Motion on the floor. Do we have a second? Second. Do we have any dissent to the motion on the floor? Any dissent to take a recess of 3 minutes or until the issue is resolved? Seeing no dissent, recess. All right, we will return at 4:16 or when the issue is resolved, whichever comes first. Yeah. Thank you for giving a definite time. That's always like such an issue with making those kind of. Why?
Whichever comes first.
Yeah.
Senator Roberts, let me go.
Yeah.
Anytime. Okay. This will work for me.
That's what I decided. I don't
It was like
You said for ice fishing? Yeah, but my favorite part of ice fishing Oh, to see what it's like? Look it up. You don't catch anything with that card.
I joined the environmental committee, and then I was like, people actually do anything,
I'm happy to see if I can get a drop. It's like
I joined.
Okay, so it is not.
I'm sorry.
Part of the environmental committee, I was for student affairs, and then I wanted obviously.
Have you seen Richmond?
We'll just keep.
Do you want to just keep going, or do you want to?
It's just they can hear now.
Okay, then we're
Thank you, Dr.
reconvening.
Jones.
It is 4:16, and we also got the audio fixed, so perfect. So, getting back on track here, we're now at Open Forum. Is anybody here for Open Forum or would like to speak for Open Forum? Yes, absolutely.
Hello, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Michelle Harvey, and I am the new Assistant Director in Student Activities. I'll be working with RSOs, leadership, non-traditional students, and so hopefully many of you in this room I'll be working with. Stop by and see me. I'm in the Student Activities office. That's it.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions? Where do you come from?
I moved to Mankato from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. There, I was at Augustana University, and I was working with student orgs, leadership, Welcome Week, service learning, all things student engagement, pretty much. And I'm excited to be in Mankato.
Let's see. Any further questions, comments? Oh yeah, go right ahead.
What's something you're looking forward to doing here now that you are working here? Like, what's some of your goals that you would like to do in terms of helping our university?
Yeah, right now I'm doing a lot of listening and learning and trying to figure out what students want and holes that students are seeing. I think leadership development, leadership programs, Maverick Involvement Team is one of the teams I work closely with, so really leaning into them and figuring out what they want to be offering to campus. And I also hear Involve U has some issues, so we're diving into that.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Seeing nothing else, thank you so much. Welcome to Mankato. Glad to have you.
Yes, nice to meet everyone.
Do we have anyone else for Open Forum? Yeah.
Howdy y'all, Sam Steiger coming from Campus Recreation. Just wanted to update you on a nice Maverick Adventures event that got announced today. So we have an ice fishing event coming up. That's one of our popular annual events. Last year was the first year we did it. We changed it up a little bit this year because, as you can imagine, it's tough to bring students ice fishing because only a small amount of people can go. But we're doing a morning session and an afternoon session on Sunday the 29th of this month. That registration went live today. Spots are already filling up. So if you have any interest in going, remember you can go to mycampusrec.mnsu.edu, or the Campus Recreation app is a great place to sign up. But pretty cheap, $10 gets you a ride out there, all the bait, your fishing license, all the instruction, everything you need. And we even are going to have a permanent ice castle out there this year as a warming house. So lots of good stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to contact myself or Madison Vandersea, who's the graduate assistant for Maverick Adventures Outdoor Programs. Thanks, y'all. I'll stand for questions.
If students have their own fish house, could they just stop by Duck Lake that day and join?
Yeah, if students had their own equipment, they definitely could. One of the challenges for us is providing enough equipment. Mm-hmm. In Minnesota, each person's allowed 2 lines, and so we're planning on having a bunch of tip-ups as well as rod and reel combos for students to use, and bait included as well.
Cool. Okay.
Spread the word. Thanks.
Any other questions or comments before you dip out? Beautiful. Thank you very much. All right. Anyone else for open forum? Yeah, go ahead, John.
Thank you, Speaker Novak. Welcome back, folks. As I'm excited to see you. It's good to see folks around again and all of that. So we'll have some student activities updates at the end in announcements. But one of the things I wanted to mention is, as I do this time every year, you are in the second half of your terms now. Okay, your term is now more than half over. I encourage folks to think every year about what your legacy is going to be. Okay, what are the things that between now and the end of graduation week that you want to accomplish? What are those things, and what do you need in order to get there? So encourage you to keep that in mind as we get into this semester, making a list of things that you know you want to check off and look back and say, hey, I did that, or hey, I got that done. So if you need resources, you need help, you need advice, you need suggestions, you've hit a brick wall and you don't know how to get over it or around it, let me know, and we can try to connect you to those resources. So we also know that this is going to be a very, very busy semester for student government. Some of the most consequential conversations that you'll have all year long are yet to come. One of those is around the budget process, and as we know, there are going to be some more updates from the system office, or hopefully around budget process stuff, as well as from the Student Allocations Committee. Within the next couple of weeks, I will be doing a presentation that will cover all of the budget stuff. It's not going to answer 100% of your questions. Nothing's going to answer 100% of your questions, but we're going to try to prepare you the best we can to be getting into budget season. And I have something that I'll be sharing in the coming weeks about that budget process that will hopefully help you understand that better. So that's a lot of the stuff. We also know we're getting into election season. The candidacy application for next year is open. And so the election process will happen in early April and all of that good stuff. So busy semester, lots of stuff to still do. I encourage you to stay on track by making a list of those things that you know that you want to do, and have people talk about you having accomplished in your roles. So welcome back. Let me know how I can help you get done what you need to get done.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions before John dips away? Sorry. All right, thank you very much. Anyone else for open forum? Anyone else? All right, seeing no one else, we'll go ahead and move right along to the approval of the consent agenda. Do we have any amendments or dissent to the consent agenda as written? Yes, President.
Remove Senator Rolla from Senator reports.
Oh, you are right. A motion to remove Senator Narala from the Senator reports.
Second.
Second. Do we have any dissent to that motion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Seeing none? Thank you very much. All right. Then in that case, do we now have any amendments or dissent to the approval of the consent agenda? All right. Any dissent? Any dissent? Seeing none? Assuming unanimous consent? Consent agenda passed. Woo! All right, moving on to officer reports. President Elmer.
Hi, friends. Happy New Year. I hope you all are excited to finish out the year with us. A couple things. Thank you all for respecting our break as much as you could. We were we didn't get much of a break because all three of us were working a lot, but I hope you all were able to take at least one day of rest. I'm sure a lot of us were working to make some money for this semester. Other than that, a couple things. For Students United, I have our Students United board retreat this week. I'm bringing them a letter about the fee cap increase that we've been talking about for a long time. It's on the finance plan for this year. I'm trying to get all the student body presidents to push the system office to try to at least get a signal if it will go this year or if it would be enacted next year for a fee cap increase, or if they don't seem to have an interest. That way, by our budget meeting in March, we'll at least know, we'll be able to make more fiscally responsible decisions if we know if there's a fee cap increase in the coming future. Because if there won't be one, or we don't hear back about if it's going to start next year, we're probably going to be making a couple different decisions than if we know there's a fee cap increase coming. So we'll be talking with them about that, as well as a few other things. If there's anything you want me to ask different university student body presidents about, let me know, since we're all going to be able to be together for the weekend. And then let y'all know what happens at the board meeting on Sunday. But then later on in February, I don't know what the plan is for this yet. I'll probably learn on Saturday or Sunday. We will be having Advocacy Day for Students United. We approved supporting the Minnesota State System Office request from the state legislature, and that is including a tuition freeze. So that would cover a 3.5% tuition increase. That way we wouldn't have to pay it, as well as some like campus stabilization, money for open educational resources is in there, and a few others, as well as we're supporting the bonding. For the bonding request, that means like money for buildings or different projects going on around the system. Armstrong is, I believe, ranked 8th or 9th on that list. However, no bonding bill was passed last year, and we have a $17 billion surplus. So we're hoping that they'll at least sign a couple bills this year. So then we'll be able to go and lobby for that. I don't know how many students we can bring, but we are also hoping to plan, since we approved Alex Wood as our city and local affairs coordinator. He has a lot of campaign experience and experience working with legislators. He is going to be organizing us a lobby day just for Mankato. So we're going to set a date, bring students up to the state legislature to lobby for just Mankato things. I'm thinking we can work on, I've met with Homeline before the break to hear what their legislative agenda is. They do a lot of renters' rights like lobbying. So I'm thinking maybe we can partner with them, find someone to sponsor a bill for us about renters' rights, hopefully about when leases are required to be signed, among other renter protections. And then also, I've been hearing some rumors of some mental health money coming, so we're gonna, once I find out more, we'll have a resolution and we'll be able to kind of figure out what we want to lobby on when we're up there. And also Armstrong, so hopefully we can get that project through finally. Other than that, I had a meeting with President Inch yesterday. We just kind of did a little bit of an update. Branding seems to be continuing to go underway to go to MNSU. There's some contention about whether it should be MNSU or MSU. The survey results that I received from the advancement office show that a majority of students support, I believe 48% of students support MNSU over MSU. MSU is like 45% of students. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. If anyone has any hot takes on rebranding, swing by my office. I'd love to know what your take is. Other than that, if you want to serve on the Elections Commission, let me know. It's not too late to join. That way we can have an odd number and a little bit of a larger number to, in case we have a really fun campaign season and there's any complaints filed, we need enough people to be able to sort through those. So let me know about that. Or if you want to serve on any new committees this semester, or if you know anyone that wants to run for Senate, needs anyone to talk to, let me know. And office is always open. We're going to be posting consistent weekly office hours this semester that we will always be there instead of changing about all the time. So that way there'll at least be a couple hours a week we'll be in the office. But we've been there all week, so thanks to everyone who stopped by. I yield.
Thank you very much. I see we have a question from Senator Roberts.
Yeah, my question is, have you seen the new plans for the new Armstrong?
I have not seen the newest ones. I know they revised them a little bit. I can get those and I can put them in the Teams folder. I think David Wing also has access to them through the Planning Committee Teams folder, which I might also have access to. We'll dig. We'll find something for you.
All right, do you have any? I see there's one over here, unless David, did you want to specify or clarify anything? Okay, cool.
I don't think I'm in the Teams folder.
Everyone should be. We just don't have a lot in the Senate Teams folder.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll add more.
If you are not, contact Amber X.
I can recheck and contact if that's true.
Yes.
Cool, cool. All right, do we have anything else for President Zelmer?
One more planning thing. I know I've mentioned this before. The Dome needs a better fire suppression system. They've come up with a plan for this, and it will come at no increased cost to students. I yield.
All right, anything else for President Zelmer? Seeing nothing else, Vice President Ibrahim, go ahead.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. I hope you guys had a great break as well. I was mainly working on resolutions and proposals over the break, which is what we'll be talking about today. And that's all I have for you. You already know my office report is short, so yeah.
Hey, didn't leave me enough time to write down in the notes. Now I have to jump right into mine. Oh, actually, are there any questions for Vice President Ibrahim? Any questions? All right, seeing none. Jumping into mine. All right, so first thing, a little bit unrelated to student government, but just if you need this as a resource, more of a personal thing. Over the break, I got elected to be the Outreach and Inclusion Officer for Stonewall DFL. So if you have any questions about like outreach efforts within the DFL as a whole or within the body of Stonewall DFL, or if you have Stonewall questions, come ask me about them. I got you. Second of all, office hours will be due next week. That will include this week and next week's office hours. Still the classic, complete 6 hours over the span of those 2 weeks. You guys know the drill, you've been around. And that will also, of course, contribute to how Senator pay gets calculated out at the end of the semester. Now that we've like really ironed out that system and we've got like a way to work through that, as a reminder for people, in order to qualify for Senator pay, you need to have submitted office hours for each of the terms. It's okay if you submit those late, as long as you do submit office hours. You need to have at least an attendance of having missed no more than 2 meetings, or having been sworn in within the first 3 meetings of the semester. So of course that second thing doesn't apply to any of you guys because you guys are already sworn in. But if someone were to join us within the first weeks of the semester, they are eligible for Senator pay. Then you also, in order to qualify for Senator pay, oh my gosh, I'm literally blanking. Never mind, I had a third thing, but that covers the Senator pay aspect. And I remember my third thing. We're also going to be instituting a more formalized appeal process, and I'm going to put together a form in case you are told that you're not eligible for Senator pay and you feel that there's been a mistake. So we're instituting a proper form to like read that out because last semester Senator Wenzel brought to our attention that we did not have an equitable process for that appeal solution, and basically what you had to do last semester was just like email me and be like, hey, I think something's up here, and I want to put together a more formal process for that. And then the last thing is January 19th, the Minnesota House's Committee for Higher Education is convening, and and the chair of that committee, Senator Fate, reached out to me asking if there were any students from Minnesota State University Mankato that would be willing to testify there. It would be Thursday at, I believe they said 3 p.m., but I'll check my email again real quick, in order to testify for what issues are important to students so that the House Committee has an idea of what they should be working on this legislative session. They'll have that in person and over Zoom. If you're interested in that, please reach out to me. I'm trying to like find some people to hopefully come with me and do that. And we'd probably attend the Zoom one, to be honest. But I think that would be a really cool opportunity. Does anyone have any questions for me? Any questions? All right. Seeing none, gonna go ahead and move right along to the Dean of the Day, Dean Haar.
Welcome, everyone. On behalf of the deans, we're glad you're back. Hope you have a wonderful spring semester.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Round of applause for Dean Haar. right, next order of business is vacancies. I'm just gonna go ahead and ask, do we have anyone here for the College of Allied Health and Nursing vacancy? Did not think so. Do we have anyone here for the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology? I did not think so. Those are the two that are currently open. However, we do have some vacancies that are going to be opening up 2 weeks from now. And those vacancies are going to be the Residence Hall at-large senator position, a general at-large Senate position, which anyone from the student body can run for that position, and 2 off-campus positions. Opening 2 weeks from now, anyone can run for any position that they apply to. I highly recommend people who are interested to go ahead and run for those offices, or to for senators that are here to shoulder tap some friends and talk to them about like potentially running for one of those offices. Do you know that we have 1 vacancy candidate who will hopefully see it next week? Did I see a hand up from John? Is someone willing to yield? Yeah.
Just a question, can you repeat those vacancies, please?
Yes, so the vacancies are 4 allied health and nursing vacancies, a College of Science, Engineering, and Technology vacancy, a Residence Hall at-large vacancy, an at-large vacancy for the general student body, and 2 off-campus vacancies.
Thank you.
All good? Cool, cool. All right, then in that case, moving on to new business, we have a resolution on the table that was put forward by Vice President Ibrahim and seconded by President Zelmer. Vice President Ibrahim, would you like to introduce the motion?
Yes, I would love to. Okay, friends. So this resolution, this resolution proposes naming the CSU 108 space to be called Dakota Lounge. We're proposing this name because this space was never formally named. However, it was informally known as Lincoln Lounge, and this statue was removed to a different space, which means it no longer sits in that space. And the reason that it was removed equally applies to why this space should not be called Lincoln Lounge in order to honor our Indigenous students. And also to acknowledge that we are also sitting on Dakota land. When we were thinking about naming this, the process naming, we had a meeting with Indigenous community leaders as well as the students, and Dakota Lounge is what has been recommended as a name. This university had made a commitment to Equity 2030 and closing opportunity gaps among students. In light of that commitment, acceptance and implementation of this proposal would truly show students that this commitment is real. The installation of inclusive naming and spaces is one step close to equity of 2030. And I yield to Emma.
And as the second, would you like to speak on this motion?
Sure. So I think this, our university has always made verbally a commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, but having seen the other 7 state universities, we are way behind the rest of the system, the state, and the country on recognizing Indigenous land and the land that our university resides on. Bemidji State University has multiple buildings named after and recognizing the Indigenous community up there, including an Indigenous Student Center, which has its own building. Other state system schools also has full buildings named after the Indigenous community there. So it is time that we finally recognize the Indigenous community here on our campus, the land that our institution resides on. And I think there's no better place than the front and center of our campus, right outside of Math Ave and the Centennial Student Union. So when students are going on campus visits, they can see that they are welcome here, they are respected here, and that we respect the history of our institution.
And before we jump into general discussion, I'm aware that a friendly amendment has been accepted to capitalize the I in Indigenous in the second to last whereas. So I'm aware that that friendly amendment has already been accepted, just to fill people in on that. Opening it up for discussion, do we have any points of discussion? Yes, Senator Mueller.
So this is not any point of dissent or anything like that. This is a friendly comment. I believe this is a step in the right direction for the university, and it is great to see Indigenous tribes recognized on our campus. But I do want to point out that this is a good step, but it is a small step, and that more action is needed by the university, by our organization, by students, by the city, by the states, by the country, to improve the material conditions of the Indigenous and First Nation populations. We can change all the names we want, but it will not take away the fact that many Indigenous communities are still systematically oppressed and left in poverty. So I commend all of us for being in support of the resolution, but also I like to call us forward and call myself forward that more is still needed to be done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before continuing with discussion, I want to call a point of order on myself because I forgot to ask for questions before moving into discussion. There goes my pen. Do we have any questions? Any questions on the resolution? And any questions? All right. We may now move into discussion, and we won't be voting on this today. We'll be voting on this next week. Yes?
I'm a motion to expedite.
Okay, well, maybe we will. Do we have a second on the motion to expedite? All right, I see plenty of seconds. Do we have any dissent on a motion to expedite? Dissent. We have a dissent on a motion to expedite. So we're going to move into discussion. This is not on the motion itself, but on the motion to expedite, meaning that would we like to vote on this week instead of next week? So, with that being said, do we have any discussion on the motion to expedite? Yes, Robert.
I think this is something that should have already been done. I think that this just needs to get over with, and the waiting just shows a lack of care for this community, in my belief. So I believe that we need to move this quickly and swiftly for the Indigenous populations who go to this university, but also are around our community. Thank you.
Do we have any other points of discussion? Yes.
So I'd just like to speak on my dissent. It's nothing against the motion itself. It's just the fact that this is our first meeting of the semester, and for many of us, this is the first time we've seen this in writing. I know I didn't see this until earlier today at around noon. So I'd just like to have the week that we were supposed to have to discuss this and to, that's, sorry.
Fair. President Zelmer.
We voted and expedited a motion at the first meeting of the year at the end of last spring semester. We've expedited most motions this year, even though it was sent out per usual the Tuesday before the meeting. This has also been talked about for decades on campus. The conversation used to be more about moving the Lincoln statue. Now it's just about naming the space that has never officially been named. So I think that this year we've kind of set a precedent of expediting motions that have little discussion on them. I yield.
Senator Mueller.
This is a comment on the support of the expedition, kind of backing up President Zelmer and Senator Roberts. We kind of just need to stop sitting on our hands and get this done. This is not a super complex or super, intense language resolution. It's pretty front and center, and it tells what it's going to do. And I think that any more time spent waiting around and discussing it is just showing a lack of commitment to the Indigenous communities, like the two former speakers said. Thank you.
Do we have any other points of discussion on the expedition? Any other points of discussion? All right, then in that case, we're going to go ahead and move into a vote to expedite. This is simply to expedite. This is not on the motion itself, but this is a vote to decide whether we vote today. I love Robert's rules. So we're going to do this by raise of placard. I'm going to ask for those in favor, opposed, and abstentions. Those in favor of expediting, please raise your placard. All right. And those on Zoom, please just use the raise hand motion or the check mark reaction. All right. All right. Beautiful. Placards and hands down. All right. All opposed. Okay. And any abstentions? I'm going to count the person on Zoom as an abstention, and thank you very much. So, looks like the ayes have it, and we will move forward with expediting this, and we will be voting on this today. Discussion is still ongoing, so feel free to discuss further. Senator Roberts.
Call the question.
Is there a second on a call to question? Second. Is there dissent on a call to question? It's okay to discuss further. Okay, there's no dissent on a call to question. We'll immediately jump into a call to question. Does this seem suitable for a vote by raise of a placard, or do we want to do the silent ballot? Or
No, raise a
anonymous
placard
ballot?
like normal.
All right, beautiful.
resolutions.
Yeah. Then in that case, we're going to go ahead and do another raise a placard vote. All those in favor, please raise your placard or use the green checkmark / raised hand on Zoom. All right, hands down. Any opposed? All right. Any abstentions? One via Zoom. All right. Then in that case, this unanimously passes, and student government would like to recommend to rename CSU 108 to the Dakota Lounge. Congratulations, everybody. Just writing it down. Beautiful. This is going to be a quick meeting. Okay, we have no old business. Do we have any announcements?
I do.
Yes, President Zelmer.
Okay, so I just got this email during this meeting. Secretary of State Steve Simon will be here at 10:30 a.m. on this Friday in classic politician last-minute notifying way in CSU 253. The President's Office has asked us to plan and moderate, MC. We'll be leading this event, but they're paying for the snacks for it as well, so there'll be some food there. You all need some office hours, so this is a great way to get some office hours. So make sure you stop by. It's going to be an open discussion with the Secretary of State who oversees voting in the state of Minnesota. It's also an elected office, so it's a good time to see if you liked who you voted for, you liked who you didn't vote for, and who represents us here in the state. Also has been around for a long time, so can answer a lot of great questions. Please, please, please bring as many people as you can. This is such a last-second thing that I'd really appreciate if you all could make it. Reach out to your student groups. We've reached out to Turning Point, College Dems, and we're going to continue to reach out to different political RSOs and everyone else. So please come 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. CSU 253. I'll send it out over an email as well.
All right. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
The University of Advising Director asked that I share with you the recent move of the Allied Health Advising. The Allied Health Advising is now located at the Nursing Advising in the Wissing-Cole 360.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
I've got a couple actually. First one, the University Chorale is looking for singers. They actually have lots of tenors and basses, but they are severely lacking in sopranos and altos. So if you know anybody that's interested in singing, it's non-audition. They meet on Mondays and Wednesdays in the evenings. Great ensemble. Highly recommend if you're interested in working on your musical talents. Show up, and I think it'd be a great opportunity for you. The other thing that I have to announce is an event coming up on February 23rd that I have wound up working with one of my colleagues over in Steele County on. This is kind of as the Turning Point hat. But we are hosting Stephen Davis, a bodybuilder, as well as Anthony Watson in Ostrander Auditorium at 7 p.m. that night. They're going to share their stories and talk about citizenship in our country, and it's going to be a great event. Hopefully I can see some of y'all there, and that's what I got.
Can I real quick ask you to restate that date for this?
It is Thursday, February 23rd at 7 p.m. in Ostrander Auditorium.
Beautiful. All right, Vice President Abraham, and then we'll pop over to John.
Okay, I just want to add a quick little announcements for, so to be the Senator of the Month, we're also counting how many events you show up, so show as much events as you can, and I just want to put that out there.
All right, John Balcock.
Thank you. I'm putting on my student activities hat now. There are quite a few things coming up that our office is sponsoring or hosting in the next few weeks, and I just want to make sure that you're aware of those. You may have seen the Galactic Ice Skating that took place the other night. That was one of the events, but then also coming up we have On Monday, we know that the university is closed. There are no classes, but it is a day of observance in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King, and we are hosting the Martin Luther King Day of Service that will take place at 1 o'clock on the CSU Mav Ave area. There are several projects that will be taking place. Also, on Wednesday of next week, we have a fraternity and sorority social, so a lot of people wait until their second semester to join. And from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, there will be a meet and greet there in CSU 253 and 4 and 5. Next Saturday, one of the most popular events of the year is taking place, and that is the free tubing at Mount Cato. For students. There are shuttles that will run from campus and from area complexes out to Mount Cato. If you want to, I don't know the exact schedule or route off the top of my head, but if you look at the can in the bathrooms, you'll see it. It's on there, okay? So, and you can also get on there. The following week, we have RSO fairs on the 23rd, 24th, and there's one in conjunction with RHA being done on the 25th. And then also on the 25th is the first housing fair of the spring semester. So if you are, now's the time when people start looking, if they haven't already, for housing for next year. From 10 to 1 on the CSU Mav Ave area on the 25th will be the first housing fair of the spring semester. So lots of stuff going on at all times. And so just want to make sure that you're aware. If you have any questions about any of that, I'm happy to answer them the best I can. But otherwise, try to get out there, and then also encourage you. Y'all have like what, 7 vacancies? Don't expect everybody just to come to you. Sometimes you might need to go to somebody who you think would be a good senator and let them know that. So that encouragement can go a long way. Otherwise, you'll get to April and not have a full Senate still. So please think about who those good student representatives would be, and encourage them to apply to sit around the table with you.
Amazing. Senator Wetzel.
Just a quick announcement. The Neurodiversity Activists RSO is having its first meeting tomorrow in Presco 105 at 5 p.m. I believe.
All right. And Senator Roker.
Tomorrow night at 6 p.m. in Ostrander, RHA is hosting Grocery Bingo, and there's over $1,000 worth of prizes. And everybody's welcome to come, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and hope to see you all there.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other announcements? Yes, Mark Constantine.
On behalf of CSU, I just want to welcome everybody back for the semester. Hope everybody had a good winter break. As I often share with you all, the CSU is here for you. We call it the Students Building, so anything we can do as the semester starts, please come forward to see us and let us know what's going on, myself and our team overall. The Student Allocations Committee will have their first meeting of the semester this Friday. And then the next Friday, we'll begin our budget presentations, where they'll be listening for 2 hours each week for 5 weeks of all the presentations from the different groups along the way. So it's a big time for the Student Allocations Committee to take on some responsibility. And then the Student Union Board, the other group that I work with, will continue their budget preparation as well. We've done all the different presentations to the board. And then this coming, the next meeting that we'll have, we'll be talking about income related, the income that we bring in and how we'll build the budget so they can get the rest of their information in order to be able to hopefully be prepared to bring that budget to you all when it comes to our budget time. So again, welcome. We're glad to have you back, and please let me know if we can help you with anything. Thanks. Any questions at all?
Are there any? All right, seeing none. Any other announcements? Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Student government is meeting with the library next week, Tuesday, on the 17th at 3 p.m. If people have things that they'd like to see from the library that they would like changed or suggestions.
Okay. Any other announcements? Any other announcements? Seeing none, we're going to go ahead and move on to second roll call, and then we'll go ahead and adjourn. All right, Senator Shroff.
Here.
Amazing. Senator Waldekainen.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Wing.
Present.
Amazing. Senator DeMenci.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Victor Wins. Senator Victor Wins? No. All right. Senator Bryan.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Roberts. Here. Thank you. Senator Wenzel.
Yep.
Thank you. Senator Rivera.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Narala. Senator Narala. Howdy. Thank you. All right. Senator Berhanu. Senator Berhanu. All right. Senator Mendez Martinez.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Ziegler.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Mesa.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Mueller.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Parikh.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Tamim. Senator Tamim. Senator Blanchard.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Goff.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Roiger.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Andry.
Here.
Thank you. Speaker Novak, that's me. President Zelmer.
Here.
Thank you. Vice President Abraham.
Here.
Thank you. Then in that case, I officially call this meeting adjourned at 4:54 p.m.
That was your
And the best part of it, let's take a one page. However, I had to do this ridiculous. That ended up being a lot less controversial.